All right. I I'm trying to work this system here to just get me on the screen while I do a little bit of an update, but clearly it's not letting me do that because every time I switch my screen, it switches back over to this screen. So I guess I'm just going to be using this one. Hey guys, how are you all doing today? Like, happy Monday. How was your weekend? How's everything with the social distancing going on? Yesterday I was at a park, a really big park here with my best friend Lisa, and we were walking around, and I couldn't believe the difference in energy of the entire park and the way people were interacting with one another. While you had people, you could definitely see people were like wanting to stay away from people they didn't know. The people were so connected. They were off their phones because no one has emails coming in, no one has work to tend to. And it was such a calmness throughout the entire park. Like, it was so interesting to see the energy. So today I want to talk to you guys about some downloads that I received last night in meditation. I've got them written down here on my phone that I'm going to read to you. I got some downloads first about healing, then about timelines, and then about the awakening process of this entire situation that we're kind of going through right now. So, just give me a little heads up in the chat. Anyone who's on right now, if you can just let me know everything's good. Journey of love and light. Okay, thank you. Hi from how are things in the Bay Area, like in California right now? Is it pretty intense, or how's everything out there? I'm curious to know. So let's go into it. First, I was. So I'm going to be doing a tarot reading for the collective after I give this kind of update. So stick around for that. Timelines are definitely converging. Certain ones are starting to collapse, and there's a big fluctuation happening. And so it's almost, I'll tell you what I saw in my meditation. So first I want to tell you guys that last night while I was in meditation, the first thing, hi Tanya, and hi Paul. And hi, Marge. Hi to the Netherlands. Wow, we've got everyone. Canada, the Netherlands, the Bay Area. That's awesome. So I was shown swans instantly when I went into meditation. I asked for some guidance, some information on what I need to give to all of you guys to help. Anything that I thought would be helpful. I don't want to I really don't want to contribute to the fear that's out there right now. There's definitely a lot of that. I just want to give you information that's going to be helpful, that's going to be uplifting, but also help you be responsible throughout this time. Okay, so the first thing I got was swans, and I thought that was really interesting. Then the immediately the information came in about healing. That it is important time for the collective to pay attention to their bodies right now, and there is sort of an awakening process of the body in allowing people to connect more because there's this fear of the virus, of people contracting it and not wanting to go into quarantine. People are being hyper aware of their bodies, and perhaps this is a time right now for you to pay attention to your own vessel. How are you respecting your own vessel? What are you putting into it? How do you treat it to be your vehicle in this world so that you are allowed to be spirit in action? And so there was all this body awareness, and it's allowing people to tune into their body for the first time, where a lot of people ignore the body. And remember, your consciousness is embedded in your cells. Your cells are constantly communicating with you what is within your consciousness, okay? And there's a lot of messages that come through your body. So this is kind of happening. But then I also saw within the water like a ripple effect of, like, when you throw a stone into the lake and it creates a ripple effect. And the message that came in there was what are you putting into the collective emotional field, okay? Are you throwing more fear in, or are you throwing more love? And to remember that energy vibrates out, okay, into rings and continues to grow and expand and filter out through the collective. So be wary of that, not just in what you're putting into your body, but what you're also putting into the emotional body of the collective. And Also tuning into what vibration is your own personal body at right now, to be very aware of that. And when you do sense yourself going into anxiety or fear or doubts, to it's a time for hyper awareness of where your energy is at this time, because everything is in flux, and we'll get into the timelines in a second. But then I also wanted to look up, I was like, okay, why did they show me swans? Like obviously swans are very beautiful and graceful, but it came in with the healing message. And so I looked up swans, and it says that here that swans symbolize healers and healing. And I felt like instantly I understood that they were showing me the swans and for all the light workers to become swans, to kind of like shapeshift into the swan energy field of becoming healers. And when you look at a swan on the lake, they look so peaceful. It looks so calm, and that calmness is important. The swan appears for you as a healer to let you know that your presence is very healing in your work. So this is a reminder to all of you to remember that your calm, collected frequency is so important in healing and helping and assisting the collective through this awakening process right now, because this whole virus situation is absolutely about an awakening. If you are calm and connected to your source, you too will have the divine glow, which offers transformational healing to all those in your midst. So you, through your own calmness, you can transform everything that's happening here, which is important to the healing. So a lot of people ask, what can I do to help the collective? How can I assist in the awakening or the healing? Being calm, allowing that presence to come through is so important at this time. You have the inability to have healing hands with your gentle and spiritual touch. You are channeling the angels and bringing extremely extraordinary healing to hearts of the many right now. And be humble and grateful in your own spiritual gifts. Hi, Harsh Med. So that was kind of like the first message that kind of came in through my meditation. And that just a kind of reminder of what the healing aspect of this time is for all of us. The next message came in was about the timelines. And on the timelines, what they showed me instantly was an hourglass. And when I saw the hourglass, it was like, I saw it upright, but then I saw it like, I saw almost like energy waves coming out. It's almost like the hourglass was kind of collapsing and then expanding, as well as like a lot of energy around it collapsing and expanding. And it just kept going out and out. And so I was like, okay. And then I instantly heard, as I was kind of watching that, time is running out, game over for the corrupt. And so there's multiple meanings here that came through with this hourglass. The timelines are in flux. Negative timelines are losing their strength. Positive timelines are gaining momentum. But you must be present in your contributions to the timelines, because all assistance is needed right now. Your assistance will help, so be mindful of your energy, emotions, and consciousness levels. You can add to the momentum of this time because of the fluctuation. Everything is assisting right now. So we have these timelines that are kind of like really fluctuating right now. And they're kind of like, some are expanding and some are collapsing. And it's so important right now to really pay attention to what you're contributing, more than ever. Because of the fluctuation, everything can start to skew to one or the other. So in order to be an assistance to the timeline of the corruption and the deceit and the hiddenness, in order for that to fully collapse, we have to allow and contribute more momentum into the timeline of revelation, of healing, calmness, groundedness, strength amongst the chaos, that kind of frequency, okay? Hi, Brian. So nice to see you. Thank you so much. And then the last message that I got for in my meditation last night that I want to share with you guys is that I heard the awakening, quickening, awakening, quickening, awakening, quickening. I heard it 3 times. And then they said, what truths within you are still hiding? If you wish to assist the global awakening, focus on this within you. Nothing is separate, and your own revelations will assist global revelations. Light workers may help in this way. You must be the model for others. Continue your shadow work tirelessly. Okay, so through this awakening, it's really important that you guys stay really aware of your own hidden truths, because nothing is outside of you, everything is within you. And one of the best and most effective ways that you can assist the timeline of deceit and deception collapsing is to go in and find out what truths you're hiding from yourself within you. Okay, so that was kind of like my update here on what I kind of got. I want to go and give you guys like a collective tarot reading for what's happening right now. And so I have let me just put this up here 1 second. Okay, so I want to look into what frequencies are present right now that need to be in our awareness for the collective. Okay, so we have synergy. So the frequency of synergy supports our allowance and acceptance of not so obvious, never seen before combinations and unions that result in new ways of functioning, working, thinking, relating, loving, and being. It reminds us to embrace the unfamiliar so that new yet exciting co-creations can give birth to a new reality. So this is beautiful. This makes so much sense that this energy would be coming in this frequency right now. There is so much uncertainty right now, and that is causing a lot of the anxiety, because we're in like this unprecedented time and no one really knows what's going on, and that really amps up a lot of the anxieties and fears that people have about what's in their future. A lot of people's financial stability is at stake right now. There's a lot happening there where they don't know what's happening. And so a lot of this contributes. However, when you have the frequency of synergy, it's about being accepting. So I got this message too, that surrender is really important at this time, to surrender what is. And so this makes sense that we need to surrender to what we've never seen before combinations and unions that are resulting now in new ways. So how do you see this right now? What sort of new unions are you seeing that relate to working, thinking, functioning in this world? Being, loving, all of that. Wow, okay. What sort of emotions are here? Okay, we have, the first one we have is change. Okay, so there's a lot of change coming in. We have assessing. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep these in the frame for you. And then we have self-love. Okay, so change, assessing, and self-love. So when we look at these, let me just put these over so they're... We have this idea of change coming in, assessing. So this is part of the awakening that we're seeing. There's so many changes. Change is so uncomfortable to the subconscious, and the subconscious is what holds all of our programs. And so people are now having to look within themselves. I talked about this on my last video that I did last week. If you missed it, YouTube was doing some really funky shit, okay, with my videos last week, where I have actually 2 other channels that I monitor, and my videos weren't showing up on either of them. So I know that it wasn't going out to all of my subscribers, and I had to write into them and ask why. And of course, within 24 hours of me writing into them, they finally put them out. So just letting you guys know, if you missed my last live video last week, just go to my channel and you'll be able to find it. It's all about on some of the messages I also received about the whole virus situation right now. So we have this change in assessing coming in, and this talks about the synergy of allowance, allowing new combinations to emerge that we've never seen before. And how do we accept them? How do we allow that energy or that newness to integrate into the old, because you do have a collapse of the old ways happening right now. You do have the collapse, and that change is really scary to a lot of people. Change triggers the subconscious to go into the ego and to make you go back into the old programs, so that you're operating from old programs that keep you locked into belief systems that aren't supportive to you, that don't assist you in this time. And so there's an assessment here over what is changing within. Okay, people are asking themselves, what is changing within? What do I need to let go of right now? And what do I need to accept? When you accept something, you're no longer resisting it. And this action of acceptance allows for the change to take place much more quickly, okay? When we resist something, we stagnate it, we truncate it, we slow it down. And so there's this assessment coming in that I'm seeing that is important, that a lot of people are needing to go through to reassess. Oh, one of the things I want to talk about too is when I was doing your shuffle, your pre-shuffle, the card that came out when I was asking, like I was kind of going through and connecting to the energies, was sovereignty. And the sovereignty card flew out, and I was like, yes, like so many people are now assessing their own sovereignty. Okay, how are we being manipulated? How are we being manipulated into emotions of fear? How are we being manipulated into emotions of anxiety, okay, and self-doubt? So the cure for this is self-love, okay? It's about going within, and what do you do to nurture yourself? What does your own soul need at this time that is most beneficial? Is it to stay in the fear? Is it to stay in high anxiety? Because how is that lowering your own immunity? How is it lowering your own strength? Because when we look at the media right now and how much fear propaganda they're pushing out, they're not being part of the solution at all. They're only contributing to the problem. And there's so much misinformation being put out there on purpose to keep everyone in fear. Because what does fear do? It lowers your immune system. And when your immune system is lower, you're going to be more likely to contract the virus. So it's really important that you nurture yourself, okay? That you stay in a vibration of love, that you take care of yourself with the foods that you eat, that the supplements that you take, that you're mindful of how you're interacting with your environment. So washing your hands a lot, like just being responsible, but without the fear, okay? Without the fear. So really important. So let's go into the tarot. I'm going to finish off with the fairy deck. No Journey of Love. I don't have a P.O. box. I know I need to get one. Shazia, your name doesn't even show up in the YouTube search field when I search for it. Yeah, I know. I don't know what's going on. And obviously I can tell, like, my views are down on YouTube. They're higher on Facebook. That's how I know. Like, and I have like half the subscribers on Facebook that I do on YouTube. And so I don't know what to do. I just, like, if you guys can help me out by sharing my videos, I'd really appreciate it. If there's anyone that you like feel would be in service of this video. So we have the Wheel and we have the Eight of Coins. I love it. I love it. So there are new things turning. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune, things are now turning in our favor. But it is a time with the Eight of Coins is about mastery. Okay, it's about diligence, hard work. This is not a time to rest on your laurels. This is not a time to take a back seat. You must be the driver right now. The universe is asking you, your guides, your star family, your own soul is asking you right now to be a participant in the changes that are happening right now, okay? This is going to be falling under the change card. So you have the Wheel, which talks about divine timing. It talks about things finally moving in your favor. This is also the card of Jupiter. We have Jupiter in Capricorn right now, which is talking about the expansion of authority, okay? But expansion of authority in a way that the authority that serves the masses, not the authority that is against the masses. So finally, the tides are turning is where I'm seeing this coming in right now with these two cards. Okay, what other messages do we have here for the collective at this time of uncertainty? Okay, so we have the Ten of Wands. Everyone is feeling the burdens. This is going to be a very heavy time for a lot of people. it's definitely taking its toll. People are going to be, I know this is the wands, but this has like a spiritual element to it. And people are going, okay, this is why it's so important to be within your own light and to be calm and to be supportive to others around you whenever you can. It's because people are going to start to feel the weight of the situation, and there are going to be breakdowns. Okay, so making sure that we come together to provide the strength and the courage for those who aren't able to sustain it during these times is really important. What other messages do we have here for the collective at this time that is going on? What other messages do we have at this time for the collective? Oh my gosh, this card came out 3 times in your pre-shuffle. So the King of Cups, and instantly this is about your emotions being in a very stable and mature place. This is about acting from the heart, from the highest position. The King of Cups, not the King of Coins. The King of Cups did come out 3 times, is what I meant to say. I think I said King of Coins earlier, I don't know. So the King of Cups is all about that, knowing how to be in your emotions and to allow the emotions to guide you without falling prey to the extremes. Okay, not allowing it's about being able to stay centered through the emotions. So this is a time where many of us are being called to act like the King of Cups, to be a leader. Okay, the King of Cups is completely sovereign over their own emotional body. And it's also about love. This is about really bringing forth love in the most, he is the masculine aspect of love in the cups, okay? So we have the Queen of Cups, but this is also talking to me about the masculine love in action. And that actually came out, interesting enough, in my Alchemy Timeless reading that I just recorded before this, okay? So for any of you who are in my Alchemy program, that Timeless reading is going to be out later today as soon as I get it up into the program. But there is definitely a need here for the highest level of emotional maturity and love in the guidance of all that you do. Let's see here. What other messages do we have here for the collective? I'm going to take one more and then we're going to change the questioning. One more. Okay. We have the 3 of Wands. So this is talking about, when we talk about the changes coming in, what we've been working so hard for to reveal. You know, when we talk about the masks falling off, about how nothing can hide and nothing can really hide. The darkness can't hide anymore. Things are being brought forth to the light. Everything that we've been working towards now is coming in. The ships are coming in. The things that you've been waiting for to manifest from a collective perspective are starting to show. In fact, there are ways of even seeing this in your reality right now. It's important that you tune into those realities and not only into the reality that is being pushed upon you through the media. And I know like a lot of you guys who watch my channel aren't like into all that. You're really into alternative stuff and finding investigative journalists who are doing like the good work that the mainstream media just doesn't do at all. So I want to know like what are the important lessons at this time for this current situation, okay? What are the lessons for the collective? What are the lessons for the collective of the virus and everything going on? Okay, wow, whoa. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so we have the Emperor, we have the Faith in reverse, and we have the King of Wands. Instant message came in, absolute instant message. Thank you, Jams. I love you too. I love all the love that I'm getting from you guys. So the Emperor, this is the ultimate reigner, okay, of an empire, okay, and because it's upright, it's about it being sovereign, okay, and it's also the divine masculine of the deck. And I have to tell you, in the Alchemy Timeless reading that I did, the masculine energy was very prevalent, and I can see some of that bleeding through in this reading right now, and especially like with the King of Cups up here, in the sense, and we also have the King of Wands. So this is about there's a lot of messages here. Let me just put the King of Wands down for a second. So we have the Emperor and we have the Faith card in reverse. This is about doing things unconventionally. The way that the empires were being run in the past is no longer working, okay? And we're seeing now a new sovereignty emerging, a new empire emerging, okay, that is unconventional to what we've always known. The old systems are collapsing and they cannot withstand. And so this Faith card to me in reverse talks about non-traditional, okay? So the way things have always been done, it's not working here. And that's what's actually bringing strength to the empire right now, really bringing strength. And so we also have the King of Wands. So we now have two kings and an emperor all upright. It is so important right now to not be a sitting duck. Okay, this King of Wands is all about having the confidence and the courage to go for what you need to go for right now. Now, in your life, how you contribute to the timelines at this current time is with this self-love card coming up here. There are so many similar messages that are coming up here that were in my Alchemy Timeless that are coming through in this one. This is so wild. So it is important that you take action. This King of Wands is very much all about spirit in action, okay? It's about having the clarity to see exactly what you need to do and executing it flawlessly, okay? And you are being asked right now to execute your dreams flawlessly. How you can help the collective right now is in bringing forth the truth of who you are through your own dream revelations, okay? Making them actually come into reality, manifesting them into reality, and building an empire for yourself through that. Now, that empire doesn't necessarily mean it's a business and all of that. It's about your own personal legacy, okay? What is your legacy right now? That's what's really coming through. When I see this Emperor card, there's all this energy of like, what is the legacy that we're leaving behind on this earth now? How are we going to, but also goes down to the microcosm of yourself, of what is your legacy that you're willing to leave behind, okay? And we see that right now with, so this is about really tuning into your own sovereignty, your own empire, and how you create that legacy here on earth, okay? That's what a lot of people are starting to be pulled into contemplating because of the financial instability right now. It's causing people to really kind of take stock of how they've trusted one way to support themselves, and realizing that way, in a time of need, in a time of uncertainty, okay, of a state of emergency, that all of that dependency that we put on things outside of us, other people to take care of us, is now starting to drive home an awakening within everyone, that they need to awaken to that. Like, how do I take care of myself in a way that is not, I'm not dependent on things outside of me, so that when a situation like this, we have a state of an emergency declared, that you are able to take care of that. And that's where that self-love is really coming into, okay? And it's being willing to accept and allow new things, new ways of working, new ways of relating to things to happen, new combinations that were never seen before, okay? That's what this is all about. Last question I'm going to ask is, what messages do we have around the stimulation of the awakening right now? What sort of messages do we have here around the stimulation of awakening right now? How is awakening stimulated the most? Wow, okay, let's see. We have the Ace of Coins and the Knight of Cups through ascension. Okay, again, this is bringing forth just more of what I was saying. With the Knight of Cups in reverse, this is about this idea of an offer of love coming in or an offer of joy that didn't make it. Okay, like it fell apart. It didn't hold water. It didn't hold what it needed to. So there was almost like, I feel like this Knight of Cups represents the manipulated version of love or happiness, I should say. Actually, it's more so of happiness that we've been programmed to believe in. Okay, it's kind of collapsing. And that's what's stimulating the awakening. It's stimulating the awakening for a new energy to finally come into the 3D. This Ace of Coins represents 3D reality to me. It represents a level of prosperity. That actually the prosperity card did come out in your pre-shuffle, and that this idea of change and ideas of what prosperity is and where it comes from is awakening in people. And it's awakening also their own value system, because their own value system has been put on things outside of them at this time. And so with the shakeup of everything that we're going through, this is what's kind of happening for the collective. I am going to go into my fairy oracle for you guys, and we're going to take a look at, I just want some messages from Spirit right now that would be, just want some messages. What does everyone need to know right now? What would be most helpful to them? What would be most helpful to them? Okay, we have Mick the Myomancer. We have Friends, which is beautiful because this is all about working together, but this is also like, this is my ride or die card, okay? And this is about, we're in this together, ride or die, okay? And that means we've got to put everything we've got into this. Again, that kind of speaks to this idea of the kings, the two kings and the emperor up here. Of needing to be very action oriented in everything that you're doing. What other messages do we have here? I'm going to go into Make the Myomancer in a second. And then we have the Singer of Intuition. Okay. So that just speaks to me of light bulbs turning on within everyone's, when I say light bulbs, I mean like the pineal gland turning on within everyone's like consciousness, like the third eye, really coming on. The awakening. This is just driving home the awakening here. Let's go into, let me just look here, Mick the Myomancer. Okay, so the main kind of key words here for this card, let me hold them up for you. Mick the Myomancer is small clues, details, the messages are everywhere. Patience. So the entire universe is one piece, and each fragment of that one reflects and is connected to all the others. The famous philosopher Anonymous once said, "The lifting of a finger disturbs the farthest star." So this is also about understanding how important your work is. If you feel insignificant, you're not. Don't allow the ego to convince you that you are insignificant right now in the healing of what's going on, in the advancement of what's going on. He advises us to make a slow and observant study of the little things and their even smaller details in the world around us. So yeah, pay attention to some of the details, because sometimes when we get overwhelmed with fear and anxiety, we just we get like we can't see the forest from the trees, okay? And it's important to take some deep breaths, to pull yourself back, to be the witness, and to allow yourself to tune into the smaller things happening around you that are positive, okay? To see the little changes that are happening. It will help reaffirm the mind, okay, the ego, that things are actually taking place and you can see it everywhere. It's just a matter of allowing yourself to shift into perception of what's positive around you. Look for the inner hidden meaning in ordinary objects, happenings, and experiences. Life is trying to teach you something by speaking to you gently. I'm going to say I don't think it's that gentle. With luck and application, you will get the message before it has to speak to you more loudly. So, okay. So for some of us, we already know what's happening right now. We know what's kind of going on. We can see the bigger picture, but for others, they don't. And they're getting that louder message right now. And it's speaking, like I said, with not that most gentle attitude. Let me just go into friends, see if there's anything else in here. This is about willingness to give and receive assistance. Okay, it's just about coming together. Okay, I think I saw Justin Deschamps posted, he shared something, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before on Facebook, but it was about there was an old couple at Costco, and they were at the checkout, and the woman asked them if they got everything they needed, if they found everything they needed. And they said, yes, except for bread. We didn't find any bread. And there was a guy 2 carts behind them, and he heard, and he pulled his bread out of his cart. And he says, here, you can have mine, and you can take a look in my cart. And if there's anything you still need that's in mine, you can have it. Oh, it's just, and that's the positivity that's coming out of the situation, is that people are starting to look out for one another. And that's the energy that we really need to channel. That's the energy that we really need to tune into. Pay attention to that and bring more of that in, okay? Where we're helping those in need and we're able to offer assistance wherever possible. And then the singer of intuition is about perceptiveness, oracular powers, awareness, and trust. It indicates that information is available to us if we will just listen to our own inner knowing. So again, when this is telling me for the collective, hi Tara, is that it is time for people to go in. It is time for them to start listening to their own internal GPS system, their own guidance system, what's happening within them. What are your feelings, hunches, and intuitions about the situation? So it's about turning that on in people, because situations like this is when people really turn to faith, okay? When people really have to turn inward to something to grab onto. They need something to grab onto that provides them some level of hope. And for many, they're going to start turning inward to their own connection to the Creator, God, Source, the universe, whatever you call it, it works for you, okay? And it is desirable that we should seek solitude, meditate, and practice stillness and patience, which is what we're all forced to do in the social distancing. Again, if you missed my social distancing video that I put out last week, please check that out because the messages that came through about that were very much about how the social distancing is actually union in motion, okay? And how to perceive it that way and see the beauty in it. The presence of the singer in a card the presence of this singer in a card spread radiates special illumination and insight on the other cards around it. So it's beautiful. So it's about this idea of, to me, when I read that, I just think about the importance of spreading your own illumination and light, not through force, but through being the model. Okay? Through being the model. Let people witness you. When we're in times of uncertainty and when people are in fear, they don't receive information well when it's forced upon them. They receive information well through what they're not getting. What is that? Calmness, stability, stillness. Be that stillness, be that calm, okay? Be the center of the eye of a storm so that people can find refuge within your own light and allow that to turn on their own refuge of their own light within. Okay, that's kind of like the message that I'm getting right here for this collective tarot reading right now. So do you guys have any questions that you want to ask me right now? I'm just gonna kind of like scroll through the chat here because I kind of missed some of the stuff. So Journey of Light, you're working on your dreams at the level of 1-bedroom apartment. Okay, awesome. Making your waiting room a classroom. That's awesome. I love that. That's beautiful. So yeah, Lucia, love is the answer. And I mean, it's cliche and we've always heard that, but in times like this, it really becomes relevant and aware. So I'm going to be doing a live call tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern Time, okay, 4:30 Pacific, with a group of light workers. We're getting together, and I've got the Zoom link. I'm going to be sending it out in my newsletter probably tomorrow morning. So if you're not on my newsletter and you want access to that call, you can jump on where you're going to be able to ask questions, receive coaching, counseling, share things that are going on. There are a bunch of intuitives we're all going to be on there, so you can ask anything you want. And this is all about taking the distance out of social distancing, which I talked about on that last video, is that we want to, that even though we're being asked to kind of, go into solitude, we can still connect with the vibration and high like-minded people that that feel like family and feel like home to us. So we're providing that for you. Also, in the event that social media does go down, okay, because there are rumors kind of flying around the internet. None of us really know what's going on. But in the event that it does, if you're on my newsletter, you'll get access to the Zoom links, because I won't be able to put out that information on my social media sites, but I will be able to email you. So important that you just kind of check your emails, check your spam folders. Sometimes the emails do go to the spam folders, and just be on the lookout for that. But I'm also going to be I'm trying to go live as much as I can while this time is going on. And I'm thinking about doing tarot readings for you guys next when I do my live video, where you guys can ask me your own personal questions in the chat, okay? And I'll just do a few card pull and tell you what I'm getting, and we'll kind of go from there and see how that goes, okay? I just want to kind of offer you guys something in the midst of everything that's going on, and allow you to connect to something that's a little bit higher vibration and perhaps gives you some guidance in the midst of something that's very chaotic right now. All right, guys, I love you so much. I hope you have an awesome week. Just remember to be aware of the timeline fluctuations and how you're contributing them, because everything right now matters. Everything is causing the fluctuation. So if you want the positive timelines to gain more momentum, we have to be proactive in how we're contributing to that. So do not get into the fear porn. Do not get pulled into other people's stories of fear. If someone's starting to have a breakdown, help mitigate it. Help hounded, just transmute it by showing them the positive, okay? And showing them that through your own light and your own energetic stability. All right. I love you guys so much. Have an awesome week, and I'll be back with you guys really, really soon.